Lost Ark is a beautiful top-down isometric Korean MMORPG created by Smilegate and will be published here in the West by Amazon Games. It is one of the top, if not the top, MMORPGs in Korea, and is one of the few MMOs that has only grown in population since its release. As a result, its release here in the West is extremely anticipated by gamers who have been looking for a new MMO to play, and you're probably one of those gamers who's deciding whether or not Lost Ark is the MMO for you. Well, you've come to the right place. To quickly introduce myself, my name is Miso and I have played Lost Ark on the Japan server for the past half a year, having logged hundreds of hours into the game already before the Western release. Now, I may not have the most playtime compared to the others out there, but I believe that my opinion is pretty valuable because I'm neither the person who has played the game for years and years who's forgotten about the new player experience, nor am I somebody who just jumped into the game and doesn't understand all the intricacies that Lost Ark has to offer. The Japan server itself is also quite unique as it's the most recent server to be released at the time of this recording, and as a result has only progressed past Tier 3 content very recently within the past few months, which is the exact content that we will be getting in the Western release. So I believe it has the closest experience to the server we'll all be playing on. But enough about me, let's get into exploring whether or not Lost Ark is the next MMO for you. A lot of you who are checking out this game are most likely fans of games such as Diablo and Path of Exile and are looking to see if Lost Ark will scratch that same itch. Well, I have some good news and bad news for you. While Lost Ark does look very similar to a traditional ARPG, the core systems in the game are that of an MMO. In most ARPGs, you probably have one or two moves that you spam to kill mobs and build a bunch of supporting skills around those one or two skills. In Lost Ark, you have 8 skills at a time, and all those skills will have a cooldown and be an active skill, so you won't be spamming any of your skills. As a result of the game being more of an MMO, you also aren't quite farming gear to get stronger at the endgame. Most of the gear that you obtain will be from clearing weekly group dungeons and raids that drop materials for you to craft your endgame gear. The part that'll feel familiar to ARPGs though is the daily chaos dungeons, where you'll be killing hordes of monsters to get equipment drops, gold, and upgrade materials for your gear. These dungeons can be done daily, and while gear that you get will be used as you're getting towards endgame, by the time you hit endgame, the gear will actually be unusable. All the gear that you get from the daily chaos dungeons from this point forward is just used to transfer the tripods or the skill ups to the current gear that you're wearing from the endgame raids. With that, since the endgame content revolves a lot around daily and weekly dungeons and raids, the game lends itself quite well to having a few alts to play on, either as a way to get more gold or as a way to funnel upgrade materials to your main character. So if you're the type of person that enjoys playing more than one character at a time, Lost Ark may be the MMO for you. While it's definitely not required to play an alt and is usually reserved for those with a lot of time on their hands or just want to play a second character, having alts definitely gives you an advantage in speeding up your progression and growing your account's wealth. Lost Ark might also be the game for you if you enjoy playing a lot of different content. Now, what do I mean by this? Well, there's some games where you can just do one piece of content over and over again and be able to progress. Like for example, in Diablo, you can do rifts over and over again, and that's how you progress mainly. While you can do that in Lost Ark and just do the daily and weekly dungeons to progress, there's a ton more content out there that can progress your character, and frankly, if you don't do some of this outside content like islands and world bosses, you'll be missing out on valuable skill points to upgrade your character's endgame skills. In addition to that, there's also PvP content, which is extremely in-depth. There are a lot of those out there who just play Lost Ark solely for PvP and don't even touch PvE. So if you like having a variety of content that you can do to progress your character, it may be worth it to try this game. Lastly, Lost Ark can be the MMO for you even if you don't have all that much time to play the game every day. While you can definitely play Lost Ark all day and create multiple alts to min-max everything, you can play Lost Ark perfectly fine and progress just by putting in an hour or two of time into it per day. Pretty much all of the daily content provides you with resting bonuses, so if you miss out on playing it for a day, the next day you'll get 1.5 times the amount of rewards for your daily content. There's a ton of people who only play their mains daily, and wait for their rest bonuses to stack up on their alts before they play them. I think that's definitely a valid way to play it, and that's probably the way that I'm going to be playing the game myself. And overall, I think Lost Ark is an extremely fun MMO and is for both the hardcore and the casual alike. Hopefully this video helped you decide whether or not it's a game that you should give a chance. I'll definitely be playing it a ton, and when it comes out, I hope to see you all on the servers.